Okay, thank you, and congratulations for pronouncing my name correctly the first time. So I am David, and I'm here to talk about OpenPass, which is a software we are building at Linagora. And the software is born from a R&D project sponsored by the French government. Quite a large R&D project, actually. And I will first start by telling you a few words about me. Then I will tell you briefly what OpenPass is. I won't go into deep details because OpenPass was presented here last year, actually, so I'm not focusing on the details of OpenPass. I will tell you some words about user experience in the product, because this is something that's becoming more and more important for us at Linagora. I will tell you about the core components and technologies we are using, a few words on the roadmap, and also 2 slides on some side projects we have regarding OpenPass. So a few words about me. I'm David. I'm working at Linagora for 3 years now, and I've been in the IT industry for more than 10 years. I've started by doing embedded Java for automated kiosks, that kind of things, driving printers and so on. And I moved to Linagora in order to develop collaboration software. So first, as the technical leader for OBM, which you might already know, it's a free messaging platform, also developed by Linagora. And now I'm co-leading the OpenPass development team there. That's why I'm wearing a tie right now. And I've been a free software advocate for a very long time now, even before I joined Linagora. And I'm also into testing and continuous delivery. So what is OpenPass? Basically, it's a collaboration platform, which is 100% free. So at Linagora, we're only doing free software. So all our code is available on GitHub, for instance, or other forges, depending on the project. It's scalable, and it's also extensible, in the sense that you might develop some plugins or modules for the software in order to extend the feature set of the platform. Linagora will provide a limited set of features that I will talk about later. And using open and fully documented REST APIs, you will be able to plug into the platform, develop some extra features, and run it on the platform. And everything is deployed using a tool called RoboConf, which is also developed by Linagora, and which is also born from an R&D project. So some areas of RoboConf might overlap what we already heard today, such as driving public and private clouds, building Docker images, and so on. So this tool, RoboConf, is handling the deployment and the management of the platform. So about the feature set, the first thing I'd like to say is OpenPass at Linagora is the direct successor of OBM. So as such, it needs to provide emailing, shared calendars, and contact management, which is the basic feature set you would expect from a collaboration platform. You want to manage your emails, you want to schedule some events with your coworkers, and so on. On top of that, we will provide user communities coupled with video conferencing capabilities and instant messaging too. And then, I will talk about the roadmap later on, but we will focus on social network features. Things like likes, mentions, follows, and so on. That kind of thing you would expect from Facebook, for instance, or Twitter. We will implement it inside OpenPass, but we will focus on the enterprise part. So you won't be very interested in following, I don't know, your friend, but maybe your team to get feedback about the progress of some projects and so on. So we believe that we can take some nice concept of public social networks and move it to the enterprise. And we will also provide document sharing and collaborative editing. So about user experience, we try to stick to the material design guidelines. So it's a kind of standard brought to us by Google, which gives some good practices and some usability scenarios that a software should adhere to in order to provide a good user experience. So it goes from using nice icons to not overusing CSS transitions, for instance, to provide a good workflow of your application. And we are developing mobile-first cross-browsers web interfaces, which are also responsive. That means that you can use the same software on mobile, on an iPad, for instance, or on desktops. So about our components, as I said, we are still using emails right now. So OpenPass provides a solution to manage and send emails. And to do that, we are using Apache James, which is a Java-based mail server, which actually support the most standard protocols like IMAP and SMTP. And on top of that, Linagora is building JMAP, the JMAP protocol support inside James. And I will come back to this later. For calendaring and contact management, we are exclusively using the DAV protocols. So basically CalDAV and CardDAV to synchronize the data between our web front-end, mobile devices, and also desktop clients like Thunderbirds or Microsoft Outlook. And as a DAV backend, we are using SaberDAV. We use MongoDB as a database and also Elasticsearch to index all the data of the product. So about the technologies we are using, the front end, as I said, is fully web-based, and we are using a framework called AngularJS, some of you might already know, to build the web application. The styling and the design of the pages are done using Bootstrap. That's why it's easy for us to be responsive, because Bootstrap helps a lot in this. And we're also using Ionic and Cordova to build hybrid mobile applications. So this allows us to reuse our AngularJS components we developed for the web front end and to kind of package them inside a hybrid mobile application using Ionic. So the backend is also written in JavaScript using a Node.js as an application server. We are using MongoDB, as I said, Elasticsearch, and also Redis, but not as a database, only as a publish-subscribe provider. And we have also some side technologies we are using, such as WebRTC for web conferencing. A few words on the roadmap. Sorry for the slide, it might be a bit confusing. But I just want to say that we are slowly moving from basic with emails and calendars software to a more advanced software which will provide some nice features such as machine learning. And we want to go up to a point that the software will be able to provide some suggestions based on the context of what you are doing in the product. So as a quick example, let's say you are having a video conference with some other attendees, and one of the attendees is talking about OW2. Then maybe the software will come up with a little pop-up and a link to the OW2 website, but maybe it will also search into the documents you already viewed inside the product and suggest some presentations or some text documents sorry, about OW2. And maybe it will go to the website and get the dates of the next OW2Con and suggest you book an event in your calendar so that you don't forget to go to the conference. That kind of suggestions. I have 2 slides about side projects. So the first one is Hubble.in, which is actually the complete video conference technology we are using in OpenPass, but it is exposed as a service. So you can go to hubble.in and start a video conference freely within seconds. It's like a 10-second process to start a conference. And it's based on WebRTC. So it works almost everywhere. Sadly not on iOS, sorry guys. About JMap, so JMap is a new protocol to do emails. So basically, very basically, it's like IMAP, but using a JSON request sent to a REST API. Very basically, because it's a bit more complex than that. But Linagora has made the choice to only use JMap to do emails and move away from IMAP and SMTP, because that protocol handles both email receiving and email sending. So for the server part, we are building JMap into James, as I said earlier. And in the web front end, we need to communicate with the JMap server. So as we are JavaScript based, we are developing a JavaScript library to handle the client side of the JMap synchronization protocol. So this library is built in ECMAScript 6. So I won't go into details, but it's the next major version of JavaScript. It's completely dependency free, which means it might run in very exotic systems where some dependencies are not available and so on. So it's pure vanilla JavaScript. It runs in Node in the backend and in browsers too. And it uses promises exclusively. So if you want to get in touch with us, probably the most easiest way is to go to our GitHub account. Then you can see all the projects of Linagora. You can star us. You can post issues and so on. You can follow us on Twitter, go to our community website. And last but not least, you can go to our continuous integration server, which also hosts our private bug tracker and code review systems. So you can hook up into our software development process in order to see how we do things and how the team is working. And that's it. Any questions, maybe?
I might have a very targeted question about JMap. You say you're saying it's being used as the only way to synchronize email, but what about old style clients such as Thunderbird? I know it's not maybe the most important thing, but.
So I think I got the question. So it's wrong that it's the only synchronization protocol. It's actually the only one for our own core components. So our web frontend will only talk JMap to the mail server. But of course, the mail server will still do IMAP and SMTP for software like desktop clients, for instance, that probably won't support JMap until a very long time. So we will still also support JMap and SMTP, IMAP and SMTP as legacy protocols.
Thank you. Any other question to David about OpenPass? Okay, thank you again, David.